It's time to start. Remember, at the beginning, very slow, much slower than you think you should be going. Let's do this.
Behold, my friends, this is the third combo video on my channel. The first one, if you remember, was about maintaining the bike. The second one about MTB technique, about riding. The third one, today's video, is about ultra distances on the bike. Today you're gonna learn how to pack your bicycle, what accessories will be helpful and which ones might only look practical on the paper. And we're going to count exactly how many circles you're gonna make with your cranks during your 3, 5, 10 or 20 hours ride.
Whoa. How many crank spins? Does it even matter? You will see it does.
Let's do this. Part 1, training preparation. Part 2, bike preparation. Part 3, packing. Part 4, during the ride. And Part 5, after the ride.
In the hotel? Well, not always.
Rozbijamy namiot pod jabłonią, ale fajnie. Jutro 200 km, idę spać. Dobranoc. 280 kilometers done. I needed to put another 10-15 kilometers because the Navi wanted me to go through like middle of nowhere and my energy is down now. It fluctuates so much, but it's down now and I'm trying to just survive to the next town and then eat something a little bit there, and I have about 45 kilometers to go.
Training preparation. The easiest way to put the training program into one sentence for all of you guys wanting to do some long distances is regular recreation on your bike. Regular recreation. You don't have to do intervals, you don't have to train hard. You need to be riding your bike regularly. Let's say you're gonna do your first 70 miles. If your goal is to ride your first 70 miles in your life, the good rule of thumb is to try to do about 70-65% of that distance with no major problems. Let's say you're riding your bike 3 times a week. This is recreation riding, so no intervals, no hard training, just riding for 2 or 3 hours. You just try to do one of your 3 weekly rides 70% of your goal, which means if your goal is to ride 70 miles, try to do 40 something miles once a week, and the other 2 rides would be maybe even 10 or 20 miles. That's a very good rule of thumb, because if you're coming home after those 43 miles and you're not exhausted and you can still sit on the saddle, that's a very important thing. That means, okay, this is a good preparation for 70 miles and you can truly believe that you can accomplish that goal.
100 kilometers done, 200 kilometers to go approximately, so 1/3 is done. I feel well, my butt is hurting. And it's just, you know, the skin is irritated. That way I had the cream. This way, back home, I don't have anything on my skin, so feels a little bit irritated, but feel well. 1/3 done.
Now, if you're planning to do 300 miles,
Let me just say that 300 miles is a lot, so you and your bike need to become one.
you need to do those 210, 220 miles regularly, not once a week, because you will be tired. But let's say every other week, that 210 and 20 miles done in your legs will mean, very important, that you have the fitness, but also you can endure riding in such a position on your bike for so many hours.
Pierwsza 43, 50 km do domu. Teraz jest bardzo ciężko.
That's why I'm telling you, ride your bike regularly, because you will know your position, you will know that the saddle is right, you will know that the bar tape is right. Maybe you need another layer of the bar tape because you feel numbness in your hands. Check out also my bike sizing and bike fitting playlist where you have more tips about the position. Now, if you're going to do those 300 miles, 3 times a week might not be enough, because 300 miles is a lot.
No highways, just some nice empty roads.
Let's recap the training plan and add some things to it. 3 times a week with one longer ride, which would be about 70% of your distance, of your goal distance. That would be a good thing to do. Example, 100 miles. Try to do one about 60-70 miles ride a week, plus 2 other rides where you are getting used to your bike, the position, you get the feedback about all the components on your bicycle. Second thing, during all those rides, you need to learn to drink and to eat.
This is my homemade, very healthy, nutritious and energetic bread.
If you don't drink enough on a 50 miles distance, you're gonna come home dehydrated, you're gonna come home more fatigued, and your recovery will be much longer. But if you don't drink enough on a 100 miles distance, you might not get to your goal. You might not get to the finish line.
You still don't believe me, huh?
Rescue team, mayday, mayday. I ran out of oil, I ran out of food, but most importantly, I ran out of isotonic drink.
On the way, Dad.
Got it now?
High temperature, let's say a hot summer day, you might end up in the hospital. Drinking is very vital during any sport activity, but if it's a long one, it is very, very crucial.
I prefer having my water in the camelback, so the water gets warmer, but also I don't have to reach for the bottles. I'm just going to leave some water here for my Bertot powder.
You don't need to drink and eat at all on a 20 miles Wednesday ride, but you do want to do it just for your stomach, for your body, to learn how to digest during the ride, during your activity. Because if you're gonna be riding on your goal day, let's say 10 hours, you will be pretty much eating something all the time, little by little, but all the time.
I don't stop for eating.
Great, so you're riding regularly, you're learning how to eat and drink during the ride and how to digest food. That's awesome because you need nutrition. The third thing to do during your training preparation is stretching. Stretch your body, do yoga, do anything that you would like to do so that your body will be flexible. If we have flexible body, muscles, ligaments, then we will be able to ride long hours in the saddle. Unlike the person who is working in such position, sitting at home in such position, and then sitting on the bike in such position, we might not be able to ride many hours. Sometimes you will just have to stop and say, that's it, my back is hurting, my neck is hurting, I'm not gonna be riding anymore. Some even assume that cycling is not for them because it's so painful on the body. It's not.
If you're really riding ultra distance, which is in hours, 5, 7, 8, 20, 30, there will be different things just hurting you, like your butt or the knees. They will come and go. If there is something that would really be unwise to push through, then don't do it. Then check what's happening. But if it's just like some skin abrasion on your butt, you have to just continue. No other way. A good cream will help.
Remember that we spend time in pretty static position on the bike. If you're going to put some air extension on the bars, which is great for long distances, you'll need to look up in order to see what's happening on the road. Your neck needs flexibility and strength. So be flexible. Stretch your body, do all kinds of movements after your work and after all the trainings where your body and muscles are warm. That's the best time to stretch your muscles. Do it, don't forget about it. It's very, very important for ultra distances and bikepacking.
Empty road, changing the position. Upright, being upright helps so much. I'm trying to be as much upright as possible. And then stretch.
Now the last two pieces of your training preparation, just a couple of days before the big day. Number one, sleep a little bit more. And number two, eat a little bit more. I said a little because if you're gonna make those long naps during the day, it might be more difficult for you to fall asleep in the evening. But try to really count the hours of the real actual sleep. Don't consume any caffeine, any alcohol. A couple of hours before your sleep, try not to look into any blue light sources 1 hour, 2 hours before the sleep, because it will all those factors will make it more difficult for our body to get into the deep sleep. And we need this deep sleep to recover, to be ready for that big day. In terms of food, many cyclists were taught, this is the old school actually, that carbohydrate is the main source. This is our fuel. You need to eat carbohydrates. We do eat carbohydrates, but don't forget about fat, which is a very efficient, economic source of fuel for us. I, for example, do some little bars with coconut oil and some nuts for myself, which are not very sweet, but they have lots of calories. Avocado is also a good source of energy. Try not to change your menu a lot, just a couple of days before the start, because your body might not get used to it. Just eat whatever you eat every day, like daily, but eat a little bit more. All that is for this beautiful day when you wake up in the morning.
Dzień dobry.
You want to be recovered and full of energy.
3 hours into my ride, about 12 hours left. I'm feeling very fresh, and I should be feeling fresh at this point. I ate my sandwich, a couple of small things as well, about 1 liter of water already. Doing well.
And that's it for the first part, which I hope you liked. The second part will be all about the equipment and some important tactics during and after those extremely long rides. See you there.
Super.